All right, February, we're going in a fabulous new direction, which is an extension of where we've been. So we've been really since January tilling the soil. We realize we're good and we deserve newness in our world.
Yes.
We are looking at what we want.
Yes.
We are realizing what we don't want.
Yes.
And we're redirecting the energy to what we do want.
Yes.
This row's doing well.
Absolutely.
Right. We are recognizing our energy and we are learning to become receptive.
Yes.
And when we see our little signs of land, we're recognizing it. And we're realizing that we have the power to impact.
Yes.
That was a pretty powerful January, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So today we're going to be looking for results. Okay, looking for results. I wanted to start out with one of my famous stories. And it was a while back. I was still in my 30s, so I was young and alive and hopeful and happy. And I decided that I had finally had time for the first time in my life to plant a garden. And I was so excited. I bought heirloom seeds. You know what heirloom seeds are. They're the ones that you can actually take the seed from the fruit and plant it and it will provide fruit again. Most seeds are hybrids now. So I got all my heirloom seeds, I planted my beautiful garden. I'm very young and very excited, and the internet isn't quite around yet to teach me what I need to know. So all I know is what I read on the packet. So I planted my garden. And I particularly like carrots. So I planted my little carrots, and this beautiful green energy would come up, and it was like, oh my God, that's fabulous. This green leafy thing was getting tall. So I said, oh my gosh, I need to see what's there. So I went outside and I pulled up that carrot, and there was a little orange thing about that big. I went, oh, I guess it's not done yet. But the green was so big. And so I went, okay, that's fine. So I went, waited, and this green kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So, oh yes, I did. I went again, and I pulled one up. No, it was probably this big now. I went, oh. Well, the green is so huge, it should be huge down there. And I would like to tell you that I was patient and waited. I systematically pulled up every single carrot. At one point, I said, let this be just a science experiment for myself to realize how long it takes for carrots to grow. The reality is I never knew how long it took for carrots to grow because they were all so small. But the green is really big if you've ever grown carrots. So, I share that with you because that was my only attempt at understanding planting seeds. And understanding that what is required is patience and being with the process, harmonizing with the process. I then, of course, my crop having become a science experiment, was back to purchasing my little baby carrots at the grocery store, which I had always done before. So what within me changed so that I could have my new experience? Nothing. I was too impatient. I did not let my desire percolate within me so that I could change the within so the without could change. We all realize that's what happens. Okay, so impatient young lady, back to doing what I've always done. I did not change enough to embody something greater. Was that too much? Breathe that in. Okay, I did not change enough to embody something greater. All right, so let's go back to our farmer. I love the idea of the farmer energy. They have patience with the process. They have patience with nature. And they trust and harmonize with nature. They realize they're not doing it alone. They don't command it to become what it is. They plant their seeds. They have patience and they trust the universal energy around it. But they never go out to their field and look at the field and say, gosh, I wonder what's going to grow. Because they know what's going to grow. The carrots, the corn, the beans. How often when we plant our seeds, do we look at our world and go, gosh, I wonder what's going to happen? Can we all say a lot? Yeah, I really want that, I really want that, I really want that. And we plant our seed, we're feeding it. Man, what's going to happen? I don't know what's happening. And we feel like we're just drifting. But we planted the seed. So we should maybe take the guidance of the farmer. I know what's going to come. There may be a process to get me there. Maybe I need to work in harmony as I allow changes within me to grow so that I can receive what I'm calling forth. Okay, take a breath. I do that all the time. You guys may not. I've got my firm affirmations. And then I'll look at Patrick and say, I don't know what's happening. What's going to happen, God? Tell me, God. And God goes, you already planted it. Okay. So, I wanted to share with you from the Aquarian what Jesus tells Lazarus. Lazarus, he works with before he dies. We all know about his death. But Lazarus is a friend of Jesus. They're actually related, but they're very dear friends. And Lazarus says, tell me how to pray. And so Jesus walks him through the Lord's Prayer, which he's already taught his disciples. Okay? And he says, do this prayer, and it's very simply, acknowledge God, your will be done, help me forgive the debts people owe me so my debts can be forgiven. When the tempter comes, make it not so great. Help me bear whatever comes to me so I can stay in your energy. This is basically what's being said. And then he says this, the answer to your prayer may not appear in fullness in a little time. Be not discouraged. Pray again, and God will hear. The answer to our prayers may not be immediate. And we know metaphysically, why is it not immediate? Because the within has not yet grown to be able to hold it. There is a process of growth. There's a process of change in the within. And then he tells Lazarus the parable about the housewife who has friends come over. And remember, these parables are in their culture. They fully understand what it means. When visitors come into your door, you are obligated to feed them. They have no place to stay. They come into your door whatever time of day, you feed them. So the housewife has visitors come in the middle of the night. She has no bread because they cook it every morning. She goes to her neighbor, and the man is asleep with his children in his bed, and that is cultural, family bed. So he's asleep, he's got kids all over him, and the lady's knocking at the door and says, please get up and let me borrow bread. And he said, I'm not getting up, I'll wake up all the kids, go away. And she persists, knocking, calling forth what she needs. And as the parable ends, of course, the man next door gets up, gives her the bread, visitors are fed, and everybody's happy. Well, the parable occurs in one evening in a matter of hours. But to Lazarus, it would have represented the persistence of holding the focus until you do receive that which you have asked for. And trusting that, oh, no, the universe is going to help me. He wants to get out of bed, that man. He has extra bread for a reason. It's for me. Of course it's happening for me. Do you see? Trusting the universe. Your prayer may be not answered immediately, but it will come. And then he goes on to talk to him about ask, seek, and knock, which you all have heard many times. Ask for what you want, seek what you want, knock and the door will be opened. These are things that we've heard a million times, but inside, do we have the patience actually to do it? So, we want to always focus back on our original seed, our original desires. So, point number 1 of today, very simple lesson today. Point number 1, focus on your seed. Say, I will.
I will.
Good. Now, point number 2. Don't get derailed by what happens in the process. Ta-da! Okay. Another story. Yeah, I love stories.
We do too.
Thank you. At InnerQuest, we are looking for an administrative assistant. You all have heard us put that out for a month now. Administrative assistant, we need one. Been interviewing, been calling people. I have been putting a very diligent amount of effort into the search for this crop to manifest. And so we'll set that aside for a minute. And so you all know Noelle works here. She handles our phones and handles our clients, and helps with the healing work. So Noelle has also been working, which you may not know, for the last 6 months with a hypnotherapist in town, working with people who are not in our energy. She's working with regular corporate, non-religious. It's a non-religious space. And she's been doing this part-time, and the lady, the hypnotherapist, has been wanting her on full-time. Okay. Universal energy moves. Universal energy is moving, and Noelle decides it's time to jump. Time for her now to go full-time over there. And it's a great win-win for her. I mean, it's certainly a financial boon for her to do that, and it's a fabulous opportunity. So, here I am saying that was not what I wanted. It wasn't what I expected. And God, what are you doing? I have a desire for the administrative assistant. I did not have a desire to lose Noelle. What? So, when we have these things come up, you will look at me and say, oh, Cindy, it's a sign of land. That absolutely metaphysically had to happen to create a greater vacuum so you could bring the perfect person in. It had to happen. That's why you haven't found anybody yet. And you can sit there and say, that's metaphysically perfect. And I go, yes, it is. But the reality is, it's emotionally challenging. When we have these things that occur as a result of us planting our seeds, and it was a result of planting a seed. She planted one, I planted one. Who knew it would end up this way? We didn't know. Planted the seed. Now there is a time of detwining that has to occur, where the energies that have been intertwined need to detwine and dissolve. And the detwining can derail you. Do you think I took a day saying I don't want to interview anybody, I just need to process this? What's happening? What is the job description now? Oh my God, I've got to rethink everything, blah, 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 blah. Yes? Of course. And detwining all the interactions. She was with us 5 years? Detwining. Do you see? It makes perfect sense, and it's a wonderful opportunity. And every one of us will face these seemingly odd occurrences that require us to let go something while we're growing our seeds. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Emotionally, we have to detwine. This is the energy that we use to redefine. All right. I'm going the opposite way today, which is interesting. Instead of saying, why did that happen, which Cheryl's going to help us out with in a couple weeks, we need to see everything as a part of the dream, not letting any energy derail us from focusing back on there is a seed growing, and somehow this is a part of it. Y'all, listen, if you're growing a big seed, it's going to happen to you. It's going to happen. Something that you least expect will move, and you'll have to detwine yourself from the energy. All right. Sometimes, y'all, you're asking for the perfect job, right? And how many interviews do you go on? And you go, that was a great interview. Oh, I know they love me. And you don't get hired. Oh, that was a great interview. I know they love me. And you don't get hired. And then you're interviewing, and where is your dream? How many of you take that rejection of you and let it derail you? Without considering something may be detwining within you. Perhaps something that has kept you from your perfect job, you're able to untwine while you're doing, or detwine while you're doing your interviews. Perhaps you're detwining a belief of not being valuable enough. Who knows what it is? But do you understand how that can make you feel derailed? And then when you look at your seed, a seed for a new job, it's not going to happen. You've all done it. Because when we do that, we're not growing the inner to be ready to receive the outer. We have to use this time wisely. So, learning our value. And detwine is a new word, isn't it? And you say, Cindy, you can't create a new word. Well, yes, I can. Yes, I did. Because Spirit gave it to me. D is to reduce and remove. Un is to separate. When you're untwining something, think about it, untwining, you still have two things. When you're detwining, we want to detwine, dissolve. It doesn't exist any longer. That way we take our energy and can reinvest it. If we're just untwining, what do we look for? We look for another connection that matches it. Oh, we'll do the same thing. I'll go back and buy my carrots right out of the grocery store, like I always have. Do you hear? We go back to the same relationship. But when we are planting something, and something like this happens, which we know is a part of our manifestation, we have to take it out. Dissolve, dissolve. So Spirit said we resolve, dissolve, and redefine. We detwine. All right. So focusing on the original seed, no matter what is happening, do not let yourself get derailed. Everybody take a breath. All right. Back to the farmer. Every farmer knows there's a season for growth. Does every child of God know that? We have a really hard time. We want to put the uniform on and already be there. But there's a season for growth and a season for change. We have already prepared the soil with our desires and we planted our seeds and now we have to water it. So, we can water our seed through affirmations. Keep talking to yourself. Yeah, it's not looking like it's going to happen. What's going on? Are those affirmations? No. In a sense, they are. Rather than look straight at it and affirm, it's happening. I'm walking toward it. It is happening. I am now what I desire. My career path is in front of me now. I'm in step now to the perfect career path. We can affirm. Affirmations create the water that seed needs. And as we affirm, we're changing the receptivity within, yes? And we're creating that nurturing energy for that seed. And the other point is taking the action for the seed. Is what I am doing today supporting where I want to be tomorrow? Let's say, hypothetically, you know somebody, maybe, who is unemployed and who wants a 9-to-5 job, and they sleep till 10 every morning. So we could say, is what they are doing today in alignment with where they want to be tomorrow? Okay. So we are literally not walking toward our seed, are we? We're literally taking our energy going, whatever, you know? And we're not looking at that seed and investing in it. Changing the internal occurs when we change our behavior, change our thoughts, and do what we can to walk toward where we want to be. If you think you might want a child, again, Shay? You don't look at other people's children and go, ugh.
I did that
I think I stuck an arrow somewhere. But do you understand? You look at someone's child and you go, oh, is that difficult? Are they difficult these days? You know, you might ask questions, you might adore them, you might do anything. But that's my future, that's my path, that's where I'm going. You know? And you start literally beginning to think and act as if that's where you are going. So the action steps. Am I walking toward my desire? Am I living like I can handle what I want? Am I living like I can handle what I want? Okay. All right. The seasons. There's always a season. I was reminded this morning of a little thing that I'm experiencing. One of my grandmothers, I don't know which one, but she came to me, probably a great-grandmother somewhere, and she was a farmer. And when she came to me several months ago, I went, oh, I recognize you, you're like a grandmother of mine, I can feel your energy. She was so blunt. I saw she was standing on grass, in my meditation room. Obviously, she's on the other side. She came to talk to me, to chitty-chat. And she said, you need to learn how to manifest better. Her words were slightly different, but it was like, yeah, I do. You need to learn how to make things happen. I said, okay, great. And so she showed me what to do, and I have this little crystal. So I put my little citrine on top of a little pile of, things that I wanted her to help me work on. Teach me how to do it then. Great, I'm all over that. Teach me how to do it. So I talk with her little energy, and I have this little stack of stuff. And the lottery started building not too long ago. And I literally heard her, why don't you go buy a ticket? Buy it this day. So I bought a ticket, stuck it under the little crystal. Then the lottery kept growing and growing. Bought another ticket, another couple of tickets. Didn't put them under the crystal. Well, of course, I didn't win. Oh, we'd be having a party right now. And so I checked all the tickets that I had bought on my own that didn't win, and it had been maybe a week or so. And I just was going to meditation, I heard her voice, she goes, why don't you check the ones under the crystal? I said, oh, okay. So I pulled the ones that had been under the crystal where we have this dialogue periodically. It's not every moment of every day, but periodic dialogue. So I pulled them out and I checked them. I won $9. I haven't won in 20 years. I won $9. And I said, oh, she goes, I didn't tell you you'd win the whole thing.
Land.
It's growing my ability. I immediately took my tithe, $1.35, from that $9 to give to InnerQuest, my tithe for spiritual food. And I took that money when the lady at the grocery store handed it to me. She said, you want to buy another one? I said, yes, but not with this money. And I received that $9 and with gratitude to the universe, got my little tithe ready, and took some other money and bought another ticket. But do you hear what I'm saying? All I had the capacity to receive was $9. That's all I had the capacity to receive. Today. Am I in growth? Yes. This, to me, when I do this is my belief system. I partner with God always. When I do this, I'm saying thank you, and I'm going to get ready for more. Thank you, I'm in process with you. Now, it's not just the lottery would just happen to be one of the things. I've got several things under there. But to me, it's the process of growth. Not diminishing it and honoring it. All right, so our points again, we have to focus on our seeds. We have to really understand that when things come that we're attached to, we detwine from it, dissolve it. So your energy can be focused on your seed and you do not get derailed. The minute you're looking at a problem instead of your seed, you're derailed. Your energy's being split, and it's easy to turn your back on the seed again. And then you say, I planted that seed 20 years ago. Well, yeah, you did. And it's been lying in the ground waiting to be watered, waiting for the affirmations, waiting for the right action. So don't get derailed. And then the third, act. Act as if. When we are starting to look for results, don't be pulling up your carrots. There's a season to everything. There's a season to it all. Let yourself start changing that inner, and it starts with that conscious participation, these wee little steps that will take us to that grand dream that we want to manifest, that desire. Say, this is so easy.
This is so easy.
And I can do it.
I can do it.
All right, let's take it within. So put your feet on the floor. And I want you to just take a breath. Feel God's love all around you. And see that beautiful column of light come over you now. Feel the peace. And I want you just to allow your focus to go to the heart. And imagine yourself walking with that beautiful love of God into your own heart area, walking toward the beautiful garden of your heart. You can image it in, see what you feel, but just let yourself now walk toward the garden of your heart. As you take a step, just notice what's around you. If you see foliage, colors, energy, just keep walking in the garden. This is my heart. This is my heart. And you're going to come into a clearing now where you can see the garden that you've been planting. And the minute you see it, just pause there and look at it. Don't rush up to it. As you look at it, become aware. When is the last time I actually focused on this? When is the last time I visited my dream? And now look to the right or the left. See if there is anything around your garden that you've been focusing on instead. Anything that's been derailing you. If there is, just detwine it now with your love. Let it dissolve and let your focus come back to the garden. Let your focus possibly go to one little area, one little plant perhaps, that represents the desire that you want in this moment. And as you look at that plant, share with it an affirmation. Speak an affirmation in your heart. And watch the plant respond. Breathe and just feel. And I want you to stand in the fertile ground of your heart and just ask yourself, is there anything I can be literally doing to prepare myself for this fruit to come to me? And just listen. And if you hear something, just take it in. If you do not, you will sometime through the day. Every question will be answered. That question will be answered. So just feel the peace. Let your focus go back to your garden and feel harmony. I thank the universe now for supporting me in my desires and dreams. Father, Mother God, I thank you for knowing exact perfection for me. And I stand firm with patience for myself as I grow. For as the plant grows, I grow. I love the plant, and I love myself. Breathe, step back, see a beautiful angel, step forward to tend the garden, and know that all is in harmony with the universe. God, we love you so, and we thank you that we have this beautiful opportunity to create on the planet, to create heaven on earth. And feel the beautiful love of God, the presence of Jesus Christ with you as you just make your way back out of that garden. Gently coming back, feeling inspired and hopeful. until you can feel yourself back in your chair. Feel the love of the universe surrounding you. And the gratitude. Thank you, Father, Mother God. We love you so. And so it is, take a breath, send your love into the room. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. How was your garden? Beautiful. Did you notice some little plants were spurting at different rates than other little plants? We are the masters of the universe in School on Planet Earth. You didn't know that, did you? Walk toward what you want. And say, yay, God.
Yay, God.